Hello there. Not content with rolling out a huge tax carpet across London, Sadiq Khan wants even more. Sadiq Khan is on a mission to crush the motorist. But he's taking a very perverse route to achieve it. In fact, it defies logic. What he's announced is that motorists will soon be charged to use the previously free-to-use Blackwall Tunnel. He obviously needs more money. And why does he need the money? To pay the £2 billion being spent on the construction of another tunnel, the Silvertown Tunnel, for the use of road vehicles being built to ease the road congestion in and around the Blackwall Tunnel entrances. With the Silvertown Tunnel coming into use in 2025, with the main twin bores having already been completed in July this year. And the Silvertown Tunnel will also be available on a toll basis, so both tunnels will be tolled into the future. Now, we all know the establishment dream is to follow the UN, the WEF, the C40 cities' dreams of low-traffic neighbourhoods and 15-minute cities, where everything you need or want is within a 15-minute walk of where you live, as well as an expansion in working from home. Ergo, no congestion ever again. Therefore, by the magical date of 2030, we're all meant to be moving away from cars and onto foot, bicycle and public transport. And everything Khan has done so far points to that being his direction. So why do we need a new tunnel? A tunnel that could be redundant in the WEF New World Vision. If he's true to that vision, then surely all the money collected should be going into public transport and prioritising it. And remember that fewer and fewer new build houses in London come with a car parking space, let alone a garage. Here's what towerhamlets.gov.uk says about it. Car-free properties are homes which have been built without car parking spaces. The idea is to reduce traffic congestion, reduce air pollution, and better manage the limited amount of space available for on-street parking. By living in a car-free property, you've agreed to certain terms. Usually, this means you can't apply for an on-street parking permit, and you can only apply for a limited number of visitor vouchers each year. All to force people to rely on their feet, bicycles and public transport. So Khan is involved in a war on the motorist by trying to cut their car ownership and car use in London while spending billions on a new tunnel for cars, funded by charging the motorist. Is he taking the proverbial or what? And if fewer cars are driven by Londoners, then who or what is this new tunnel actually for? And bear in mind that while this tunnel is being built, new walking and cycling infrastructure is also being put in place. You'd think we were expecting the population of London to balloon to the point we need so much more transport. Not less, wouldn't you? So London is seeing an increased congestion charge to cut the traffic in central London, as well as an expanded ULEZ, which remember is destined to become a pay-per-mile system for all cars so as to drive traffic numbers down, and now charges to use the Blackwall and Silvertown tunnels. As I said, the whole plan revolves around driving down car use within the M25. So why the new tunnel? With the reason for helping with congestion that won't be there. And one assumes these new tunnel tolls will also apply to tradespeople and delivery drivers, HGVs and the like, thus increasing the cost to the consumer. Now, another thing to consider is that the new expanded ULEZ charges come into force imminently on the 29th of August, just a couple of weeks away. The expense of this green agenda on the public is just spiralling out of control. What's next? Extra charges just to enter London itself? Other metro mayors must be looking on with much interest at these money-making schemes. Now you will probably have heard of the central bank digital currency, the cbdc, that just about every central bank on the planet is now getting very excited about. And the UK is working towards one too, dubbed the Britcoin. And even here the little nudge of fear is used in order to make it look a bit more attractive. This is what the Bank of England says. The way people pay for things is changing. People are not using cash as much as they used to. Digital payments are becoming more common. There are also new forms of money on the horizon. Some of these could pose risks to the UK's financial stability. We must have the CBD to avert risk. I wonder how they will ratchet that one up. Anyway, they are bringing in a system where everything you own is tokenised by recording it in digital form so it can be easily bought and sold via cbdc and ownership tracked. Property, cars, stocks and shares, etc. Now, one of the things you might not realise is that CBDCs are going to be programmable. That means the central bank can control them. And one of the controls that can be used is to make the CBDC time limited, i.e. put an expiry date on its use. You know, like a shopping voucher. Here's what Indian economist and author Eswar Prasad told the World Economic Forum a couple of months ago.
Play in finance will also affect the transmission and also the implementation of monetary policy. And the one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like say ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC, and I think also extremely dangerous for central banks.
Controllable money that the state can set an expiry date on. An expiry date that would of course be visible within its digital footprint. So the nearer the end date you get, the less attractive that money is to someone you want to buy something from. Meaning that the last person holding that money would be forced to use it to pay the government for something, like their taxes, before it expired. At which point the government will issue a replacement digital money to replace that one and issue it by paying out to a benefit claimant or someone's public sector pay. And that too will be time-stamped. All to make the CBDC more of a medium of exchange and less of a storage of long-term wealth in its own right. So how would you save money up? Would you have to accumulate assets like property, shares and bonds that the state has already tokenised so they know exactly what you own and how to tax it? They'll also know which carbon-heavy products you bought, like a holiday flight, so they can limit your future purchases of the same sort of thing for a period of time to offset it. What a dystopian future we face.